John B. Cook. I am editor of Comic Book Creator Magazine. Also did Comic Book Artist Magazine. It's my pleasure to be here to moderate on Mutants and Chris Claremont. Chris, if I may ask you, with your long history with the, I don't know, these subgenre of superheroes. You laugh. The Mutants. Do you think that Stan and Jack, when they created the X-Men, had an allegory in mind for what mutants were?
Haven't a clue. I think it was basically, well, we've got the Fantastic Four, we've got the Avengers, we've got Iron Man, we've got all these other guys. What's weird? What have we done? So I think every other hero in the industry, I suspect, but certainly in Marvel, acquired their powers by an act of either scientific advancement or God, if you will. Something happened. You come from a world of a red sun to a world of a yellow sun, and you suddenly, faster than a speeding bullet. Your parents get shocked, you become, well, you are a billionaire, so you decide to focus your life on righting wrongs. You get bitten by a radioactive spider, you are, the god of thunder, but you cross dad, and suddenly, whammo, you're a lame doctor. You're a doctor with bad hands, and you go looking for a cure, and you end up coming back Doctor Strange. Everything outside of the X-Men are things that happen to people from which they evolve quickly into becoming superheroes or villains. The X-Men were born that way. Now, I think conceptually speaking, hey, we haven't tried this before, let's see what happens. In terms of a greater societal resonance, likely not. I mean, you have to be a real wanker when you wake up in the morning. I am going to create the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Okay. You know, it's like, hi, they've established a Justice League. We'll establish bad guys. Which just shows, that's almost the perfect ending for that movie. It's like two dumb guys on a boat trying to stupid But a catalog of bad moments, it's a long queue at that point. Not that I'm casting aspersions or anything. Even Joss couldn't save that one. And God knows he tried. Wait, let's see the original cut. Sorry, I am slightly prejudiced. Okay. So, I mean, and if you look at the first 65 original issues of the X-Men, there wasn't much in the way of anti-mutants. It was just, we're mutants, we live, all five of us, in a little school in Salem Center, and it's like, 5 little kids and a girl, and everybody, including Professor X, looks at the girl and says, oh, my heart beats still, she's so cute. And I'm going, huh? And it's like, even Marvel couldn't help tripping over the precedents of the age, presumptions of the age. It's like, hi, I stretch my body a phenomenal length, and my best friend turns into a man of rock, and the other guy turns into a creature of fire, and the girl disappears. Not that I'm calling out a metaphor or anything, but it was 1962. She was more concerned about, do I look best for the boys? And it's like, huh. Imagine if it had been, if Ben had been an Invisible Boy. You know, maybe Iceman would be better off as an Invisible Boy because then he could be, you know, a non-gender specific person again. But it's just, that's it. In the 1960s, the early 1960s, the Kennedy 1960s, you didn't think of the implications 75 years later, 80 years later, God. So, it evolves. And I just had this stupid luck of being in the right place at the right time with the right characters and the right degree of arrogance to just think, holy cow, this is fun. And working with Dave Cochran, it was off to the races.
How many issues into the new X-Men? Just a couple.
What do you mean?
Then you started writing.
94.
Right.
I was,
Giant size and then...
Well, Len did Giant Size. Len plotted Giant Size 2, at least actually generally plotted 2, and then I came in and started messing around with it from that point on. And then my first basic plot was 95, which is sort of like, we gotta get out of this. No, actually 95 was Len. Sorry. 96. 96 was a film that Bill Mantlo plotted and I scripted because we had to get it out of the drawer because we were already rendering it invalid by what we had planned for 98. So I fixed that. I wrote the script on that one, and then 97 was the first time when Dave and I actually got our feet in it. And we gave Jean the makeover she deserved. So she left in 94 looking like your basic, hi, I'm the girl, and came back looking, in 97, looking like, oh my God, a hottie. She not only has decent hair, she's wearing hot pants. It's 1976. Everybody, even the guys, were wearing hot pants. And I'm sorry, if you're comparing it to inappropriate presumptions, look, his sidekick is wearing little gold metal panties. And he and Bruce sleep in the same room. Maybe even the same, no, we can't go there. He's a billionaire, you don't ask questions like that. Or they tend to die mysteriously in prison a week later. I'm not saying, it's just awfully convenient. So, on one side, you got the Clinton theorists. What was Bill afraid of? And on the other side, you have the rest of the world thinking, oh God, Trump must have been really scared. And probably neither of it applies, but boy, do we hate to eat up the internet now. You know, whatever idiot invented Facebook should be driven off the edge. Oh, sorry, Mark. You're only worth how many $100 trillion? Money is so fungible now, and I'm babbling, as usual, like an idiot. I should be on Colbert. Not helping if he's listening. So, you were saying? Any questions?
When did you, did you immediately see that the potential for the X-Men as being the outsider, what a lot of people have read into it, of that, it's the outsider, it's those who are disaffected from society, that they read into what you were doing with the book, with what was going on, what always goes on in society, young people.
oh my God, I have a scripting assignment. I'm working with Dave Cockrum. Oh my God. Yeah, but like, I want to go off to do summer stock in 3 months, so how this is going to work out. We've got to figure this one out. You see, I was a professional actor then, and comics was just something I could use to pay the rent. And I never thought it would. I mean, come on, who the hell earns their living as a writer? Give me a break. I know professional writers. None of us are living as writers. All right, George Martin lives in, or his living. That's not fair. But, no, I mean, I just thought, I've got these 7 cool characters. Okay, we got Cyclops. We got these really cool characters. And I'm dealing with the greatest designer fantasist of his age. We'll have some fun. Because you have to understand, in those days we assumed comics were, well, what's the word? Doomed. The sales sucked. The future was grim. We figured by 1980 the industry would be dead. We'd be all looking for real work. So our only ambition then was, I've got these really cool characters, let's see where we can go. It was Stan's idea to make it international, so we got this German guy, and we got this Canadian guy, and we got this Russian guy. I mean, just think about it. It's 1975, and we have a character in the team who's from southwest Russia. Well, sorry, the Soviet Republic of Uzbekistan. I mean, how can you get more politically incorrect than that? By the way, you do realize that most of the X-Men are, what's the word? Illegal aliens? That's actually serious. You know, I mean, Aurora kind of sneaks in because her dad was American, but he's an American of color, so that doesn't count. You guys laugh. Ha. You think I'm kidding. But our view of the world was slightly different back then. But imagine if we rebooted the concept today, it would be a whole different situation. And actually a lot more intriguing in a lot of ways. But all we wanted to do then was play with them and see where it led. We were doing what in those days was called organic conceptualization. You have to understand, back in the day, Stan's attitude was, I'm running the company. I haven't got time to deal with you idiots. So there were 3 rules, Stan's 3 rules. The book, he would like the book to be good. He would like the book to be on time. He would like the creators not to be a pain in his ass. Any 2 out of 3, you get to keep your job. You prefer all 3, but any 2, you kept the gig. And from his perception as editor-in-chief, I'm a grown-up, you're a grown-up. I'm giving you this gig. Go do the gig. Do not bother me. I am trusting you. Why am I trusting you? Because I'm the boss and I have other things to do. Oh yes, and you're a grown-up and you would like to keep this job. So, if you have good ideas, the book will sell. If you're on time, mazel tov. If you're not a pain in my butt, even better. And have a good day. There were no editors. We had freedom. We could do whatever the dickens we wanted to because it was fun. And were the books occasionally sloppy? Yes. Did Jack suddenly decide, we'll try Sue in a miniskirt? No problem. The problem was the second the issue after that when the colorist didn't realize she was wearing a miniskirt and colored her legs blue like everything else. So, oh, you're wearing a blue miniskirt over blue tights. Well, they're not tights, they're a costume. And that's why 2 issues later, Jack forgot about the miniskirt and we were back to the skin tights. So what? It was fun. And if the story was good, who cared about the peripheries? So, it was, as the saying goes, a whole different world than what exists today. And occasionally you would have grand foulards like Len writing Hulk, Incredible Hulk. I'm writing the core book. You should pay attention to me. And Steve Ditko writing Hulk in in the team the Vendors. Thank you. Sorry, I used to have a brain. And thinking, I'm Steve Ditko. I'm not Steve Ditko. I'm sorry. I'm Ditko. Steve Gerber. I knew all these people. And so occasionally Len and Steve would have fist fights, metaphorically, in the office over who should pay attention to whose continuity first. But that's why Stan was the grown-up. He would come in and say, deal with it. A story from reality. I'm there as a gopher. That's what they call interns in the old days. And I'm doing I'm reading all the back issues of Sergeant Fury because they were there and it was fun. But I'm also proofreading the latest issue of Sergeant Fury. So in the back issue of Sergeant Fury, I'm reading The Court-Martial of Nick Fury. And the base chaplain said, well, you've got to understand, Nick's a tragic boy from Hell's Kitchen. He's an orphan. He's struggled since he was a wee lad, and now he's fighting for his country. Why are we court-martialing him? I don't know, yada yada. So then I'm reading the latest issue of Nick Fury, where he goes home to visit his parents and his kid brother, who will become the Scorpio. Yeah. And I said, uh-oh. I used to know all this. We have a problem. So I went to Roy and said, Roy, we have a problem. What? See, here we establish, like in issue 8, that he's an orphan. And here we establish in issue 38 that he's going home, actually, like longer than 58 or something. He's going home to visit his family, his mom and his kid brother in Brooklyn. What do I do? Call Stan. Huh? Call Stan. Why? You found him. But I'm just a gopher. And your job is to do what you're told. Call Stan and tell him. Yes, phones in those days had wheels. There are cool new phones that had buttons, but we didn't have those because they were expensive. So, hi, hey there, true believer. Yes, he did say that. Hi, Stan. Yeah. This is Chris from the office. Who? Chris from the office. What do you want? Found this problem in Nick Fury where in issue 7 you and Jack established that he was an orphan. Yeah. And the new guy writing it is established in the latest issue that he goes home for Christmas to visit his mom and his kid brother. Huh. Okay, fix it. Click. So Roy says, what did he say? He said, fix it. So fix it. Boy, I'm a gopher. Yeah? What are you, an idiot? Kinda. Boss said fix it, so fix it. Okay, I'm embellishing, I'm only slightly, I'm 17 years old. I was like, oh my God. A freshman in college, what the heck am I supposed to do? So I sit down and I'm thinking, and I was sitting there and what do I do? What do I do? God, I can't, rewrite it. I can't. Oh. Hi, Roy. What? How about his adopted parents? Okay. Bingo. Which was probably the first clue that I may be knowing what I'm doing in this place, and I wasn't going to be an actor, but there you go. So we fixed it. You know, that's what you did. We just added the line, goes home to visit his adopted family. His stepmom and his adopted brother, you know. He's the adopted guy, that's his family, he was adopted. And that's why Scorpio has always hated him. Because he was the hero, but he's adopted. I'm the real son and no one gives me any respect. See, instant creativity and motive. And it worked. That was Marvel in those days. You find a problem, you fix it. And don't bitch. Sorry, don't complain. And it was fun. It was more fun than you imagine. And then, you know, if we read the scripts before they were lettered, we could maybe correct the spelling errors and find little things like that. And wait, if we read the scripts and the writer did something wrong, we could suggest an alternative way. And then if we told the writer what we wanted him to do, it would make more sense. And so you find the road to hell is paved with many good intentions. You think Doctor Doom is fun? No, I work in mysterious ways to destroy your reality. Anyway, how's that? Truth is stranger than bullshit. Fiction.
But I mean, did you start connecting that? I mean, obviously the book was selling. It went to monthly. It was popular. It was
X-Men or
the X-Men. It was the rage.
Didn't go to monthly until John took over.
You were speaking to
Since Dave wasn't fast. He was brilliant, but he wasn't fast.
Right. You were speaking to an audience that was extremely responsive, in my memory. Did you want to be? You were a writer now. Did you want to be saying something through the medium of comics? When does it?
No.
When does meaning come into it? Does it come into it?
I think if I'd written a book saying, I want to make a moral point, it would have lasted 6 issues and I'd have been fired after 3. You don't do that. I mean, what I was trying to do, what I've always been trying to do, what I've tried to do for the billion or so issues I wrote then, was tell the stories of these originally 7 people's lives. You know, what happened? What do they think about being in New York? How does Aurora feel coming from East Africa to Manhattan? What does Colossus feel suddenly finding himself on the other side of the world from the collective reality that was his youth? How does Nightcrawler feel walking down the street? You know, with Wolverine always saying his ear, what are you doing with the stupid image inducer? Trust the people around you. Are you crazy? They tried to burn me in Russia, in Germany. It's Germany, dude. What do you expect? You know, it's not like you're Jewish or anything. Sorry. And what about Jean? Well, she's the girl, who cares? It's thinking of, it's what any writer does. You think of the characters as people, you figure out the who, what, where, when, and how, and you just run with it. You never set out, at least until the graphic novel, to write a story with a point. You write the story to be a kick-ass, turn the page, I can't wait to see the most real and primal moment of revelation was finding out that readers were queuing up on the third Thursday of every month because they wanted to buy the next issue the minute the stores opened. And it's like, holy cow, they really are crazy. And then it's like, oh my God, what have I done? And then, oh my God, how do I do it again? You don't, I mean, you read the letters, you listen, you talk to the readers at conventions, you listen to their feelings, but you bear in mind that every time someone comes up and tells you at a convention that they love the issue that came out that month, you're 6 months ahead of them. But what you realize is if you try to present the lives of these super beings in terms that make them relevant and real to the readers, you have to presume none of the readers can fly faster than a speeding bullet, or bend steel with their bare hands, or read minds, or teleport, or anything like that. But if they read, if the grace notes of the Mutants characters, if who Peter Rasputin is rather than Colossus, if who Kitty Pryde is rather than Colossus, it's doing a scene where Kitty and Ileana are sitting in their room doing homework. Why are they doing homework? Because they're 14, idiot, and this is a school. And yes, they have to take tests. Because, like it or not, the Xavier School is part of the New York Regents. You know, they gotta pass the Regents. You know, I assume there's something like that in Connecticut. I have no idea. It's Connecticut. Aren't you all rich guys anyway? Hey, my father married his second wife, and they lived here in Connecticut. And it's a very nice state. And I visited it as rarely as I can get away. I'm sorry, we've just gone off on a totally different track. That's not to do with comic books, except it does. Because when you walk into a room and your heart breaks because your father has just called up to say, I am not only in witness protection, but your mom and I are getting divorced. And you're 13, it's like, what? And oh, what happens next? You get possessed by Lilith, who's after Dracula, who seems to be after all sorts of silly stuff. But that's how the stories go. You find moments where you can have something happen to Kitty, or to Kurt, or to Peter, or to Logan that can resonate with things that happen to all of you guys and gals in real life. And it's like, wow, if they can deal with it, I can deal with it. If I can deal with it, maybe they can find a way to deal with it. It's nothing to do with superpowers. Bending steel with your bare hands is easy when you're from Krypton. Finding a way to figure out, does Lois really like me? I mean, how can I take her out on a date? Where would she go? I mean, I wrote a throwaway moment in my series Sovereign 7 where the lead character's restaurant, I said, oh, is it in the neighborhood? And he's thinking, oh God, I flew over to Hong Kong. And it's still warm. But it's a moment. Yes, it's a BS moment, but he's Superman. He can do this sort of thing. But how do you explain that to a girl who's not supposed to know that? You know, it's little throwaways like that. And ideally, you write them hoping they'll resonate with the readers and they'll think, ah, as opposed to, ugh. But that's what it's all about. This is me being a geek, but I've been watching NCIS now for 18 years. But the best episodes have nothing to do with the stupid case they're on. It has to do with all the little character stuff. You suddenly discover, oh my God, Gibbs does that? Or, you know, the creepy new Abby is like, wow. So she's nice. She's weird, but she's nice, but then again, so is Abby. It's finding out the character bits and who these are as people and bonding with them as people and caring about them as people so that when Ziva dies, you think, ah! And then suddenly when Ziva is leaving notes saying, don't tell Gibbs I'm alive. And you're sitting going, okay, so when's she coming back? That's cool. My wife thinks it's, well, it's all about people. And if you don't care for the characters as people, then why the hell are you spending, what, $4.95 now? for an issue. I don't get it. But that's why I don't read comics anymore. And probably why I'm not allowed to write comics anymore. You know, I have a totally different approach to Stan's rule was your basic story is one issue. We do one issue stories. Why? Because the distribution sucks. And if you do 5-issue story arcs, there's no guarantee that the news agent will get all 5 issues. So somebody's going to get screwed up. Okay, so you do one. If it's a really good story, you can do 2. If it's Galactus Comes to Earth, okay, you can do 3. But the last 10 pages, the last 5 pages of the 3rd issue is Johnny Storm has to go to college. Why? Because it has nothing to do with saving the world from Galactus. It has everything to do with Johnny Storm as a human being. And maybe the readers will resonate to that. Oh God, I'm going to college. Can Johnny go to college? If he can deal with it, he can't. Then I'll be, But that's what it's all about. You get on, you say your piece, you get off. And if in the process of doing that you slip on a banana peel, what happens is what Archie Goodwin always says, you got 30 days to fix it. If you're doing a 50-issue crossover extending over 6 months and 14 titles, if you slip on the banana peel with the 3rd issue, you are in an awkward situation. And how are you going to fix it? You've got to fix it, because otherwise you may end up with readers who say, I'm going back to, reading Game of Thrones. So you can do arcs, you can do Dark Phoenix, but if you look at Dark Phoenix, yes, it took 10 months. One issue story, 2 issue story. 1 issue story, 2 issue story, and then 3 issue story to save the day and fix it. That's the paradigm, at least that's the paradigm I was taught. And it works. We're here to basically lure you back every 30 days. Or in the X-Men case, every 2 weeks in the summer. And leave you desperate to see what happens next. Sitting on the edge of the seat. And in a position where I can legitimately say, we did it to Gene. Will we do it to Storm? And have readers take me absolutely seriously. That's cool. Not cool from your perspective, but from my perspective. Yes! I've got them. Because A, we want you to read the books, and we want you to keep reading the books, and we want you to have fun reading the books, but more importantly, we want you to care. We want you to give a damn. And the only way to make you give a damn is to give you friends on the paper who you care about, who you like, who you're interested in. That's what writers do. If you're reading Game of Thrones or watching Game of Thrones, if you don't care about Arya, you're not going to keep forking out $3,500 to buy the next book, unless you want to use them as weights. If you don't care about Sansa and what's his face? The scar burned up left side of the face. The mountain? No, the hound. The hound. If you don't care about that relationship, as he said, sorry if no one's seen Game of Thrones. If you'd stayed with me, none of this would have happened. But if I'd stayed with you, what would have happened to everything as a result? We came to this place turning into the people that we are. And because we're the people we are, we can do something to fix it. She's right. He and his brother ended up having issues. Well, it's like, isn't it amazing how big structures just tend to crumble at just the right time? But what the heck was going on with what's her face under the dragon? It's like, Okay, I understand you're this story's epitome of kitty, but, you know, take a Valium, honey, you don't have to burn the whole city. Sorry. Just me.
At this point, I think we can take some,
I talk too much.
let it be a little bit, make it a long
I
question.
can do two things at once. I just will be less incomprehensible than usual.
Chris, do you think
Yes.
your experience as an actor helps you have the motivation to create character development in these characters?
No, that's the needing to pay the mortgage. You know, it's fun because sadly I'm playing all these scenes in my head. I know exactly who these people are. That's sadly why I never read anybody else's versions of them. I mean, even Joss, who I deeply respect, son of a... I wanted to play with Kitty, and he wanted to play with Kitty, and because he's Joss, he got to play with Kitty. But no, I mean, Warren, what's his face, who's doing Excalibur after? Warren Ellis. He wanted Kitty and Pete Wisdom to have shenanigans. Well, it was pointed out to him that Kitty had barely 15, and even in the United Kingdom, that was, what's the word? Illegal. You know, he might think he can get away with it, but we'd have trouble. So instantly, whammo, he makes her 6 years older, 21, and she's legal. Except that, unlike DC, Marvel is supposed to be a time-contingent universe. Stan set that up from the beginning. And, you know, if you go back and read the X-Men Fantastic Four team-up, Kitty's this little kid of 14 years old, and Franklin is this littler kid of maybe 4 years old. And if Kitty is suddenly 6 years old, and Franklin's in like middle school, if not junior high school, and we're all screwed. And my head exploded. So when I came back and got my hands on X-Canon again, I immediately established Kitty is 15. And boy, were the readers upset. You know, because they liked Kitty having shenanigans. And it was like, oh, FGS, I give up. You know, it's like, that's the way it is. You do it. When you're doing work for hire, anything can run over the characters, anything can tear them apart, and there's no point really as a creator in giving a damn, because there are forces beyond your control that will muck things up no matter how much you care, and no matter how much you want to fix it. But, you know, I was sitting there looking at the Kitty Colossus Almost Married-ish storyline, and I'm thinking, you guys do realize that if you follow the parameters to their ultimate extent, Reed's like 70, Sue is like 50, Franklin has got to be, you know, 30-something, Scott's pushing 40, if not over the line. Emma, well, the Emma I created is like, she and Sebastian Shaw are colleagues in, you know, every sense of the word. She's not 23, she's more like 48 or something, but she looks great because she's Emma. And I ran down the list, and, you know, I'm looking, you realize the New Mutants are supposed to be like 13 to 17, and now they're like, oh, I gotta get out of here. It's just, your head explodes, and suddenly I felt, I don't want to care anymore. It's like, I've created characters that resonate to certain points in the readership, and if everyone else wants to write adult stories with sex and violence, that's not what I'm interested in. So I kind of walked away, and I think that's, the problem for me is, I see nothing in the characters that I find intriguing as audience. The challenge to Arya and Sansa in Game of Thrones, especially the first half, was they were kids. And they were thrown in the middle of this, if you've heard the expression, shitstorm. And it was like, wow, how is this going to work? And you watched Arya evolve into an assassin. So that when you got to the 7th and 8th season, it was like, wow, she's scary. But you know why she's scary. You care about her being scary. You care about why she is. Maybe there's a way to redeem her, or not. But that's what writing is all about. That's what storytelling is all about. And my goal in here is to tell stories that make you want to see what happens next, by giving you people you relate to, by people that you care to. But the beauty of comics is they only age as fast as you want them to. No matter what happens, Daisy Miller is a year older every year. You can't escape that, unless she's a comic. Then you can stretch it out as long as you like. And who knows, that could be fun. So,
Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned this earlier on, because I wasn't here for it, but what did you think, this is the only time they mostly got it right, little kid in the 90s watching 5 episodes of the Phoenix Saga adapted to the X-Men cartoon, only time they've ever gotten it right. What did you think of that and the adaptation of the material?
well, I would have thought they got it right if they'd asked me to write it, but there you go. On the other hand, I got paid for it, so. Don't laugh. I mean, no, it's just, I thought it was fine. I hated the Marvel animation because I love what Bruce Timm got away with in Dark Knight. I mean, on Batman. Because they went out and they got real actors, real voices. No offense to the Canadians who who did the voices for the Marvel stuff, but they were Canadian audio actors. And DC, I mean, Warner Brothers got film actors, real actor. God, I'm just, it was just great. It was like, I know that voice. Oh my, just think. If Idris Elba did the voice for Logan, if Hugh Jackman did the voice for Logan, that would be equally cool. But that's the point. You've got the voice. The animation sucked. So the voice is what's got to win you. And you've got to have, I mean, Wolverine was a Cockney, for God's sake. Shame on them. Shame on them. I mean, depends on which version you look at. But he's been bouncing back and forth across the planet. But the point is, he's Canadian. You're filming in Canada, for heaven's sake. Surely you can find some local talent who can fake it. But if you're doing voices, you've got to do the right one. You've got to find that tonal ability. And more importantly, because the animation, especially in Marvel, sucks, you've got to find someone who can act with their voice. Not that I'm showing off up here, but you've got to be able to play with the voice. You've got to be able to entrance the reader with your voice. Otherwise, you're just going to sit there and kind of go, that's really good, but it could have been so much better. It's like looking at a certain film and thinking, it's really good, but it could have been so much better. You know, but hopefully Gene will have a second shot. Ooh, they're so cruel. It's like they work for